Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Martinez, and I'm here with the City of San Antonio's Training for Job Success program. I'm here to talk to you about some potential tuition assistance. So it's a pretty straightforward program I'm going to be talking about here today. We are in service to the residents of Bexar County, and to that end, we are trying to get high demand occupation skills out to the residents of Bexar County to then get high demand and good paying jobs. So what exactly does that mean for the people of Bexar County? Well, our program, Training for Job Success, if you meet some initial qualification criteria, we can pay up to 100% of your tuition as long as you remain in good standing at your college. So, for example, let's say you're currently attending the cybersecurity program, trying to get the associate's degree, cloud computing, some of the other technical fields here at the college. If you qualify for our program, Training for Job Success, we can pay your entire tuition for as long as you have any semesters remaining. Now, what exactly is the criteria for our program? Really, it's only three. You have to be located in Bexar County, meaning that you have to have an address in Bexar County. You have to be actively enrolled in a high demand occupation training program, meaning any of the technical fields here at St. Philip's, the associate's degrees, any of the computing fields here at St. Philip's counts as a high demand occupation field as remarked by the city of San Antonio. And then finally, you do need to meet the income qualifications for acceptance. So depending on your current household size, your current living situation, we would collect the income for your family to make sure that you meet the income qualifications for acceptance. So that's a sliding scale depending on what your current household size is. So for example, let's say you're a household of one person, it'll be $31,300, and then it goes up according to your household size. So if you meet those three qualifications, you're then enrolled in our program after doing an intake appointment. And once you complete your intake appointment successfully, we will then have the responsibility of paying all your tuition every single semester as long as you can pass all your classes and meet with your caseworker once a month in person. Well, someone like myself would be your caseworker. You would come in, do the intake appointment, you would qualify for our program, and then we would pay for your classes as long as you're enrolled in Training for Job Success. All you'd have to do is, like I said, pass all your classes and meet with me once a month in person in order to ensure a couple things. One, that you are in good standing with your classes, that you are managing the mental and physical burden that you have while going to school, and that you maybe are in need of some additional resources that I can provide, whether it is assistance with the reading materials, with school materials outside of just tuition, or in some circumstances, we can help with additional ancillary bills or issues you may have. Let's say, for example, you're going to school full time and you've reduced your working hours and now you need assistance with maybe a month's worth of rent or a month of your CPS utility. If we have the funds available, if we have the funds on the market ready to help out, we can help pay for a month of your rent or a month of your CPS utility if you find that you are in need. We have other resources like our Financial Empowerment Center, which can help you with getting your credit right, getting your budget balanced, helping to build your financial acumen for when you actually are in that new position and you are making that money. So we have a lot of different opportunities available to us once you're enrolled in the program that we can offer to you besides just tuition. But our main focus is that we will pay 100% of your tuition for as long as you are meeting those criteria. So there's two phases to our program. First is the education phase, which I already talked about. We help with the tuition. You meet with me once a month in person, you pass all your classes. And let's say you graduate successfully, you get your associates, you get whatever certification you're trying to get, and you get fully licensed and you're ready to start working. Well, that's when the second phase begins. That is the work phase. In that phase, we help to send you job leads. We help to take a look at your resume. We do interview training with you to make sure that you're a good candidate, as good as you're going to get when you're out there applying for positions. And in that same phase, once you actually start working, we track your income for the first 90 days in order to ensure a few things. The city collects your pay stubs just to make sure that you're making enough money adequate to the education that you've received. The city wants to ensure that if you have begun a new position in cybersecurity and cloud computing, whatever it is, that you are being paid a fair market value for the new work, the new skills that you've gained. So we take a look at your pay stubs and ensure that you are getting paid a fair wage for the money that we have put into getting you your education. Once you submit those 90 days worth of your pay stubs and we're able to ensure that you are meeting the income qualifications for our program, we close out your case successfully. That money is then reimbursed back to us by the federal government, and then we help the next student get their education. So it's a very straightforward process. You call, you go online, you apply, and we see if you qualify. If you qualify, then we pay for your entire tuition as long as you pass through your classes and do your monthly in-person appointment. And then once you graduate, we help you find a job and ensure that you are meeting the income expectations set by the city for your wage that you deserve for the education that you've got. So it is, like I said, straightforward. I would recommend anybody who's at least interested in our program, just give us a call, just apply online. There's no reason why you shouldn't at least talk to our caseworkers, talk to our administrative staff, even if you don't think you're going to qualify, even if you're already getting other assistance. Let's say you're getting like a scholarship or you're getting like the Pell Grant, you're already getting financial aid of some sort. If you come to our program Training for Job Success, we will pay for your semester's tuition, which means any additional scholarships you get. Let's say you're getting $1,000 in tuition assistance from a third party source. Normally that tuition assistance would be applied to your balance for your current bill. But since we're paying for your tuition, you get to pocket that money. It goes directly to you. For example, I have a student of mine who is a current surgical tech in a different program. We are currently paying for this semester's tuition, so her Pell Grant was paid directly to her as a direct payment. A check cut directly out to her from the Pell Grant. So there's a lot of extra benefits that people don't really see as, that they don't really see as a possibility for Training for Job Success. But all of these are reasons why you should at least reach out, give us a call, see if you qualify. Worst case scenario, maybe you don't qualify for our program, but there's other programs out there that I can send you towards, other resources available for tuition assistance that I can send you towards, who may be able to help you even if we can't. And like I said, if you qualify for our program, we pay 100% of your tuition. So there's no reason you shouldn't at least give us a call. Any tuition that we pay, any scholarships gets directly dispersed to you as a direct payment. So there's no reason not to at least give us a call and see if you qualify. And just in general, our program is, we do case management services for our clients. So I like to think about it like our clients are, they're boxers, and we're the guys on the outside of the ring who they check in and make sure, are you doing okay? Are you, doing well in school and physical, your mental? And if not, we're here as someone you can talk to, as someone that you can ask if you have resources available. And like I said, let's say, you do have trouble with a rent payment, with a CPS bill, we have the resources available to help support you. And some other differences from us and some other programs, we accept anyone as long as you live in the county, you meet the income requirements, and you're currently enrolled. Some other programs, they can't enroll you if you're already, say, have a bachelor's degree, or you already have higher education in general. No matter what, even if you already have a bachelor's, if you already have like a master's degree, you can still qualify for our program. We don't have any prior requirements for education. As long as you meet our 3 initial requirements, you're able to be enrolled in our program.
So we have some online questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our first online question, do you have to be a citizen?
So the only qualifications for our program is that you have to be able to work after you have gotten your education from us. So it depends on which, I think the citizen status, the different qualifications can vary, but we have some clients who have the ability to work in the US. And if they can produce pay stubs that we can then use to get reimbursed for their tuition, that's good on us. I know everyone's citizenship can be a little bit can vary depending on what their specific situation is, but as long as you can work in the US, you can qualify for our program.
Yeah. Now, I noticed that they're talking about the IT And I see up there by the medical equipment, you're probably supporting the nursing program. But what is the accounting or business program?
So.
Or do they have something that will,
So we use the Alamo Workforce Solutions High Demand Occupation Job List. If you want to see specifics, like I said, it's the Alamo Workforce High Demand Occupation Job Listings. That is what we use as our marker for what qualifies as potential high demand occupations in the city. It is a lot of programs, anything in the medical field, anything in the technical field, anything in the mechanical field even, as long as you are on that list and we can make a programmatic arrangement that you can get a high demand occupation position, that's what that matters to us. We have some students who were interested in doing business associates, business classes, business certifications. They would qualify, but one of the things we run into with those students is that they plan to transition immediately to a 4-year university and get their last two, their junior and senior, get their bachelor's. Since you have to get a full-time job after you complete our program, that would be an issue with us. So a lot of our business students, if you're trying to get like a business associates and say accounting or human resources, they would qualify for us, but you have to commit to working after you get that associate's degree from us.
So that leads into the other question. If we have a student that is currently in their associate's degree, but is already planning on going to the bachelor's degree here at St. Philip's, would they be able to continue education?
So that is an interesting question. I know that right now we have a number of bachelor's degrees that the Alamo College is currently offering. Cybersecurity bachelor's, I think there's a cloud computing bachelor's at a different college campus.
Medical?
There's a nursing bachelor's. So we are in the transitional period to figure out where we're at right now. I can tell you for a fact, I have a bachelor's in nursing student at SAC who is currently enrolled in our program. So we are able to do it in circumstances. It just depends on everyone's specific situation. Presently, because we're a 2-year program. So normally our program parameters are, we got 2 years. 2 years to get an associate's degree, 2 years to get a 1-year cert. You got 2 years in our program. So we run into issues with people coming in freshman year trying to get the bachelor's. That's a 4-year exercise for them. We would only be able to help for 2 years. The math just doesn't work out. But let's say you're someone who already has an associate's degree, you're finishing out, you need your last 2 years, your junior year and your senior year to get a bachelor's in cybersecurity. Then there's an opportunity for us to maybe step in and help with the last 2 years to get you that bachelor's. So like I said, everyone's situation is different. Everyone's situation is specific. So that's why I highly recommend everybody just call and talk to us. Because at the end of the day, guys, we have money to give. I have people, I just need, I have tuition. I just need people to give it to, which is a crazy situation. It's just that right now we need people to apply and to see if they qualify. Because if you do qualify, like I said, we pay for your entire tuition. So even if you're in a specific situation, you don't know what you're going to receive, you don't think you're going to qualify, you have plans, communicate with us. Because ultimately our goal is to try and get you that tuition assistance to the best of our ability. And like I said, even if you're already getting a scholarship, you're already getting a Pell Grant, you're already getting third-party funding, still qualify, still call us, because if you do, we'll pay for your tuition and you can keep that third-party scholarship as a direct payment that goes to you. So there's a lot of opportunity out there, and we're one of the many resources that you should just give us a call and see if you qualify. But any other questions, whether online or over here? Okay.
If you can just go over kind of your turquoise recap of everything y'all.
Yeah, so different services, school supplies, 100% tuition assistance, rent, utilities, if you qualify, if you have funding available, and case management services. So an advocate for you who's going to be there to listen to your issues, to bounce ideas back and forth off of, someone who's going to genuinely be there for your entire school education. And then when you're looking for a job, to give you that time of the day that you deserve, who's going to be there for you. I mean, I have one of my clients right now who, was running into some issues. We sat down and I just bounced some ideas off of each other. And she was like, you know what? I didn't really even think about that. And I was like, you know what? I'm an idea guy. That's why I'm here. Everybody needs someone who they can just bounce ideas off of. And that's just, one of the things that I'm here for the students that you can just talk to, see if you have any issues with, see if I have any solutions, and really have that communication with. So I highly recommend, like I said, just give us a call, guys. I'm gonna be passing out some flyers and our information will be online. And you can find us in the city of San Antonio Training for Job Success. All right, thank you.